morning, everyone, and a very, very special welcome to all of you, our valued first year students that are joining in on this morning's virtual session. I am Gerald Alder, Manager of Student Engagement at the Division of Student Services and Development, and it is my absolute pleasure to be part of the team this morning that is here to warmly welcome you to your faculty orientation as part of your first year experience at the UWI St. Augustine campus. Students, wherever you may be joining us from at this time, I want you to take a moment to congratulate yourself on being accepted to university and for being one step closer to achieving your educational goals. We are truly honored that you have made the UWI St. Augustine campus your choice for learning. And under the theme, Discover Your Power, Create Your Future, we remain committed to empowering you and supporting your success in your first year of study at our campus and beyond through your participation in FYE. This morning is especially important and exciting as you transition to your new family at our campus's Faculty of Science and Technology, FST. Today, you will have the opportunity to learn so much more about the outstanding faculty to which you now belong, and will get a chance to connect with some of the dynamic people that will support you through your university journey. Engage with us in the chat and take advantage of the valuable information and nuggets of wisdom that will be shared. We join proudly with you today in saying welcome to the FST and welcome to the UWI St. Augustine. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce you at this time to Dr. Denise Beckles, Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology, who will take you through today's program. Over to you, Dr. Beckles.
My job to help students navigate the administrative side of their academic career here. And today it is my honor and pleasure to act as host and share some of my experience, both as a long-term academic advisor and now as Deputy Dean, so that you can have the smoothest, nicest, best university experience. So pretty much with that, I will say that is all I'm going to say for now, and I will pass over to our Dean of our faculty, Dr. Brian Coburn, who is, not only does he wear the Dean hat, he also wears a biochemistry hat as well. So since he's, he has chemistry as well, I could say, 2 thumbs up to Dr. Coburn. But I would like to pass you over to him so that he can greet you and welcome you to our faculty. And as I said again, so happy to see all of you. So exciting to be back here. We are still virtual, but it's going to be semi-virtual because we will be seeing each other face-to-face, live and direct very, very soon. So Dr. Coburn, over to you.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Beckles. Thank you for the introduction. Majored in chemistry and biochemistry before doing a PhD in biochemistry, but thank you. I know chemists think they're the best scientists, and maybe there's something in that. Okay, so good morning again, Dr. Beckles. Good morning to Mr. Alder and to all colleagues and guests. On behalf of the staff of the Faculty of Science and Technology, the FST, at the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies, I bid you all, students, parents, all guests, a warm welcome. We hope that you and your families are well. It is our privilege to be a part of your higher education journey as the pace of change around the world continues to quicken and to demand we be more innovative, more resilient, more collaborative, and especially that we do more than just be consumers. Your education is a responsibility we take very seriously, being mindful of all our stakeholders, including our proud FST alumni, of which Dr. Beckles and myself are proud members. The FST offers programs in the fundamental sciences, biological sciences, chemistry, computer science, mathematics, and physics. Reflective of our vibrant research activity, we also offer programs in important areas of technology, including environmental tech, information tech, renewable energy technology, biotechnology, electronics, computer science and technology, environmental science, and biomedical tech. At the St. Augustine campus, the FST delivers a diverse suite of academic programs by highly qualified and committed academic, administrative, technical, and support staff. We offer you robust educational experiences, and we're invested in building your capacity to observe phenomena, analyze data, and synthesize hypotheses that advance our understanding of the world. With the relaxing of national health and safety protocols and in adherence to mandates from accreditation bodies, we shall be returning to in-person activity with the retention of some very limited components of delivery and assessment online. We are welcoming 3 cohorts of new students to the campus simultaneously. It's a huge undertaking that we are very excited about. I should add that details of your classes and practical exercises will be shared with you by your respective departments. Any and all changes are subject to campus and national directives and would be reflected in communiques disseminated by campus marketing and communications. At a time when the value of tertiary education is being questioned, UWI graduates continue to find their place in the job market and, on average, occupy the higher earning brackets. We offer a world-class education, and our graduates typically shine on that stage as well. Your ability to focus and remain dedicated will also reap rich rewards academically. Most departments operate help desks, which are designed to meet students at their particular skill level and assist in building frameworks for growth. On a broader perspective, there are also several support systems in place under the umbrella of the Division of Student Services and Development. I urge you to consider club and other activities to build your networks and experience as much as possible. Competencies are in demand. Ensure you acquire as many competencies during your time with us. Again, on behalf of the staff of the Faculty of Science and Technology and our student community, I offer you a warm and genuine and excited welcome and wish you an enjoyable and successful time at the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed today's event. Turning you back over to Dr. Beckles.
Thank you, Dr. Coburn. I'm ready to get started. So thank you so much for those words. And I have to say, I 100% support that last comment you made about the competencies, because when it comes down to it, when all of you all leave us here, you will be all extremely good chemists, biologists, even biochemists, mathematicians, computer scientists, physicists, and what will separate you from somebody else from another university possibly will probably not necessarily, how much you know about chemistry or information technology, but how you navigate, how you manage yourself, your experiences, your whole self. Because after all, the person they are hiring an employee who is not just an IT in there, that's not really working out. So some of those things, believe it or not, the playing of the old fours and getting involved in student activities and guild and all those things really play to your strengths and will help you when you get out there. So you can have fun and and get some advantage for your future career as well.
Yeah, Denise, if I may, let me just add one more point here.
Mhm.
This is that we are placing a lot of emphasis on providing internship experiences for
Of
as many of our
course.
students as possible.
Yes.
I would urge those of you who have that opportunity to seize it with both hands. It's a marvelous partnership that we are still developing. We are getting more and more partners in the form of external stakeholders in public and private sector. And thus far, all parties, the external stakeholders, the students, and the departments are reporting real satisfaction. And the experience is proving not just educational for our students, but enjoyable. And some of them are landing
Yes.
positions right away after graduation. So I just wanted to say a word about our thrust towards internships and to ask our students to actively seek them out. So thank you again.
Yes. Yes, of course, because it's not just about what's here on campus. And as Dean said, certainly this is an active area for us. We are really pushing the internships. And so, so you will find so many opportunities, so many interesting, exciting, different things. So, grab them, both hands, and run away with them, because that's really what you're here for the next 3 years. So with that, I would like to pass you over to, at this point, we want to give you a little opportunity to hear from our heads of department. We have 5 fantastic departments, and yes, they're all fantastic. Not only chemistry, so chemistry, yes, life sciences, physics, computer science, and information technology, mathematics and statistics. 5 fantastic areas, 5 fantastic fields, 5 fantastic heads, and who are all very excited to share their departments with you. So just to give you a little taste of what you can expect. And for the rest of the week, you will be coming to departmental advising sessions specifically. And so you will get a little more experience with your specific department. But we're going to start with just this little teaser for our department, so get you excited for what's going to come for the rest of the week. So with that, I'll pass over to FST Media, who is going to share the recording with us.
Hello, and a very, very warm welcome to the Department of Life Sciences. My name is Judith Govin, and I'm the head of the department, and I'm here to say to you that you have chosen the absolutely most exciting department at the university and within the Faculty of Science and Technology. We are here to hold your hand and walk you through the different subjects that we pursue in the Department of Life Sciences. Biology, of course, freshwater and the marine environment, ecosystems, biodiversity, biochemistry, microbiology, and genetics. But at the end of the day, we really want to nurture you. We want you to be innovative and creative, and we have an amazing group of staff here at the university and in the Department of Life Sciences. Experts in their own areas in the very fields that I've just mentioned. You have made the right choice. You're coming to the Department of Life Sciences. It's where science is happening. Science is core to all the issues. Science solves problems. As we know with the COVID pandemic, who are we looking to for the answers? Scientists. And this is where you can get involved in research. These are not solving only environmental problems, but also economic and social problems. So we at the Department of Life Sciences are training you to solve real-world problems, to go out there and make a difference.
Dear first year students, on the behalf of Department of Physics, I welcome you all to our family. You are very lucky that you have joined one of the best faculty of the university, which is Faculty of Science and Technology. We at the Department of Physics are committed to provide you world-class teaching, research, as well as laboratory experience. We offer a wide range of programs at undergraduate as well as postgraduate level. At undergraduate level, we offer 3 BScs, and at postgraduate level, we offer 2 MScs and 2 research programs. We have international as well as local academic staff with wide experience in the area of renewable energy, environmental physics, pure physics, astronomy, medical physics, material science, and electronics. To assist you in your research projects as well as undergraduate projects, we have electronics workshop, mechanical wood workshop, electron microscopy unit, XRD unit, and many other specialized research laboratories. We have student societies or clubs like Spark and UV Stargazers in the department for you. Electronics Hobby Club is coming soon. Physics graduates are prepared not only for career in physics, but also for many other fields as well. Administrative support can be obtained through a dedicated email. Further informations are also available on our website, and you can also join us on Facebook. So I welcome you again, and thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Bud.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Department of Computing and Information Technology, commonly referred to as the DCIT. The DCIT strives to provide an outstanding educational experience for our students in 3 main areas: computer science, information technology, and software engineering. There's a heavy focus on projects and internships, and recently the department has teamed up with Oracle, Huawei, and Red Hat to polish our students with industrial-based skills. Our students have access to a variety of facilities. The department maintains a state-of-the-art computer lab for collaborative work. This lab is soon to be powered by solar energy to assist with the UWI effort to go green. In addition, our classrooms are equipped with wireless access. Recognizing the importance of international experience in today's workplace, the department offers a variety of study abroad opportunities in Canada, UK, and the USA. Graduates find employment in areas as diverse as banking, web design, insurance, finance, biotechnology, government, education, and academia. So join us, and I welcome you and challenge you to make your dreams come true.
Hello all, welcome to the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. I am Brajesh Tripathi. I am the head of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. Our department offers courses in the field of mathematics, statistics, and actuarial science. Our courses help prepare you for a career in the fields of finance, banking and accountancy firm, insurance and marketing sector, and education and research. We provide integrated learning of mathematical and statistical computational packages that help you build a career in any chosen field of your choice, whether it be actuarial science, data science, data management, data collection, statistical analysis, or pure science. As a statistician, I can say that the probability of success in your life is 100%. We have a dynamic staff. Come and join our department for a wonderful career ahead. Thank you.
Hello everyone, you're just in time. Let me put on my mask. We are about to load up a sample in this machine. We call this machine Prerequisites. And what it does is to give us an idea of the structure of the sample. Prerequisites needs about 5 milligrams of material for analysis. This is what 5 milligrams looks like. And right next door we have another of these machines. This one is the Mama Bear. And Mama Bear requires about 15 milligrams of sample. So this is what 15 milligrams looks like. And the last machine we have is, well, Baby Bear, and that requires about 30 milligrams of sample. So this is the smallest of our instruments for analysis, and It requires about 30 milligrams of sample, and this is what 30 milligrams would look like. All these instruments allow us to determine the structure of compounds, and that is a big part of what a chemist does, the job of identifying materials. If you come with me, I can show you some other instruments that we often use in the chemistry department, just next door. Here we have another special instrument that we use in the chemistry department, and this one is involved with separating a mixture. So you would inject your mixture onto this column, which essentially is an obstacle course, and the small molecules will pass through the column much more quickly than the big molecules, and in this way we can actually infer what the individual components are like. The next and probably most exciting work that a chemist does in the lab is to make new molecules, and I will take you to the facility where we do a lot of that work in the department. So this is one of our research lab facilities for doing synthesis, and let me take you inside. Typically, such a lab will have a fume hood for handling hazardous chemicals. It will have inert gas lines for helium or argon or nitrogen, and we also do lots of reactions at very low temperatures, like for liquid nitrogen temperature or dry ice temperature. Generally, our students in this lab are doing research on new materials for solar cell technology for more efficient energy conversion and nanoparticle work. Overall, when you are finished with a degree in chemistry, you are really very good at solving all types of problems. Our students go on to work in finance, they work in industry as quality assurance and quality control chemists, and of course they work as teachers across the region. We are very happy and look forward to you joining us in the chemistry department. My name is Richard Firman and I am the head of the Department of Chemistry. Thank you.
All right, so thank you, heads. So I think you got a good taste of all of our departments and what they offer. But I think all in all, regardless of which department you choose to join, be aware that you're going to be dealing with some of the best and most experienced, interesting people who are on the edge of what it is that they do and are pretty passionate about it and are very excited about passing that passion on to you. So while we something I would like to kind of point out, you'll notice that there's so many different facilities, so many different support options, and I just want to kind of highlight that before I get into my main section, which is about all the support that is available to students here in departments as well as in the university. I mean, just from you starting out now, you know, everything is new and shiny. There's you will be, you know, the first year experience people across the Department of Student Services. They have really worked so hard to try and make sure you are going to have a smooth transition across to the campus. So let me encourage you to make sure you have, you know, that FYE website bookmarks on your browser so that you know because anytime you want to know anything information, there's so much stuff going on. There's Guild Fest, where the Guild, as you'll see some things about the Guild later, they will come out and there's so many student clubs and all these activities going on. There will be things like tours to the library, which I know sounds very boring, but at the same time, the library is going to be an important part of your experience as a student. It's good that you are able to navigate those systems as well efficiently so you get the information you need. Those are happening in September. Make sure you really, you know, take advantage of all the opportunities that are coming out. And as I said, the FYE website is going to be important. Also, to a lot of these things are going to be recorded and streamed later on YouTube, so you can have access to that information later as well. So do keep an eye out for those. All right, now I'm going to just jump in with my, right, so now I have the pleasure of doing a little something to help you kind of really get a look at what is happening for you as as a student, and some of the administrative things about the programs, about what's going to happen now, what happens to you going forward with respect to getting yourself sorted and registered and so on, because that's going to be important for you here as well. So, and of course, at any point, and I mentioned about our very experienced lecturing staff, but also we have extremely knowledgeable, extremely experienced administrative staff from all the departments, as well as the Dean's office, who are on the call right now and are so excited to answer your questions. So do type your answers, your questions in the chat, and please do not send it to any particular person, because they will not be, they probably will be, there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat, and they will not be able to really respond effectively to individual queries. But just put what you have in the chat. Somebody is bound to be able to answer your question, and at the very end, we will also have an opportunity, you'll have an opportunity as well to ask specific questions as well. But don't wait. If you have a question, do ask it. Right, so let me jump straight in and let us get going. So today, what I am going to be talking about, as I said, is structure of your program, because I know it's not entirely clear when you're starting exactly what your program actually involves and what you will be actually expected to do over the next 3 years. So I'm going to try and make that clear. Allow you to get some vocabulary under your belt, so when people are throwing terms at you like credit and major and GPA, you know, cumulative GPA, you'll know what that means, as well as a little kind of what are some important things you really need to know so that you don't fall into a big hole and bust your head early on in the game. And then finally, like, what should you be expected to do now? So you've been here, what happens next? Because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. So firstly, I want to start with some information about your degree. As I said, the structure of your degree. And this little, I'm going to have some like little pictures peppered in here and there for interesting places on the campus, and you can keep an eye out. All of these places will be fairly close or within the faculty. So when you come out in September, you can see if you find them later, right? So a little information about our degree. So we offer 2 types of degree: the Bachelor of Science General, and then the Bachelor of Science Special option. Now the difference is, in the general, you're going to have majors and minors, and you might have experienced, you might be familiar with that from your regular just general knowledge. But there's some specifics about these 2 different degrees, and I want to go through them so that you are aware. Now, the kind of programs that we offer in the BSc General, though, as I said, you'll see majors, and those are represented as bold, and then the minors are not bolded. And I will go through in a little bit exactly what those terms mean. But what you will notice when you look at this slide, how many different types of majors we have, right? So majors in each department, right? You'll notice that there's multiple majors in each department. So you're in a particular department, generally are not locked into only one major. And in addition, they have a whole host of very interesting and exciting minors that are offered from every department, which you could also take advantage of. So what exactly does your structure look like? So they have the introductory level, which is where you are right now in the first year. Those are the courses that you take that give you your foundation so that you can go on to do advanced courses in whatever area of interest you might have. And then in addition, and those introductory and advanced level courses are your faculty courses. Those are what give you your degree. And then in addition, you have what are called foundation courses, which are similar to your communication studies and your Caribbean studies courses that you would have taken at CAPE. So sort of general knowledge type courses as well. Now, there's a certain number of these courses you must take before you are allowed to leave us. And when you add up everybody, you have to have at least 93 credits to finish and actually complete your degree. Now, so I've already started by throwing out some terms there that might be unfamiliar. And as any good lecturer, I need to make sure I address any uncertainties before we move on. Now, so I want you to just kind of keep in your mind that the BSc General, You have introductory courses, you have advanced courses, and you have foundation courses. Now let's see how those kind of fit together over your 3 years here with us. And with respect to the BSc General, I call this that you are building your degree, because what you will find is that people doing the General have a lot of flexibility to generate or create a degree that fits them perfectly. All right. So it allows you a lot of customization, as you will see shortly. So let's take a look at how these different parts fit together. So first of all, I talked about courses. All right. So now courses are the individual classes that you will be taking throughout your career here. All right. So just as you were taking in CAPE, you're taking chemistry, or you're taking physics, or you're taking computer science, just so you would take courses in chemistry or physics or computer science here with us as well. And those are the places where you get the information, where you take your exams, and those add up and give you your degree. In addition, depending on different courses that you take, you end up with a major. When the major is, so what a major is a group of courses specified by the department that says when you take all of these courses and you finish with them, you will be able to call yourself a physicist. You will be able to call yourself an IT person. You will be able to call yourself a biochemist. All right. So the major then kind of is the group of courses that you take that form your background of your degree. Now credits are like the weighting. Now every course has a credit weighting attached to it. It basically means about how much time is expected that you must spend doing in any particular course. If you break it right down, it acts as basically every 1 credit kind of equates to an hour of class time. All right, so if you're taking a course that has 2 lectures and a tutorial every week, that would be a 3-credit course, because you're going to be spending 3 hours in a classroom every week, right? And different courses will have different weightings, but when you add up all the credits, you must have 93 in order to graduate. And lastly, as I mentioned before, the foundation courses, those are the ones, your general purpose courses that you must take before you graduate. And that is what's going to be happening here in the first year, your level 1. Now, just a little note about foundation courses. Foundation courses, these are the 3 of them, and these are the 3 that you must take. There's no choice about foundation courses. I see a note in the chair, you do have a choice about some of your courses, but as we will see, not all the courses. And you'll get a little more information about that, Gabrielle, in a minute. All right, so these are the 3 foundation courses you must do. Now, the one thing, the second one here, Found 1105, that one is very similar to your communication studies. It's a writing course, but you can't just get up and go and take it. You do need, unlike the other 2, you do need actually a prerequisite, something in your pocket before you can take this course. So what are those prerequisites? What are the requirements? If you have a grade 1 or 2 in CAPE Communication Studies, if you happen to have done GCE A-level and you have a grade A or B in general paper, or if you have had a CSEC English language A, so English A in CSEC grade 1, you can take ELPT, can take Found 1105, right? So once you have one of those 3 things in your pocket, you are okay. You can go ahead and do Found 1105 at any point. If you do not, then you need to do the English language proficiency test. All right, it's not a difficult test. They just want to make sure that, there's no course that you say, there's some guidance material that they will give you. They have a couple of seminars, and then you can take the test. All right, once you pass it, you can take Found 1105. The next one is on the 13th of October, and then the following after that is the 16th of February next year. Now, I would strongly, if you have to do the ELPT, if it turns out you need to do ELPT, to do it as soon as you can, so that you can get that out of the way and are basically free to take Founding Level 5 at the next available opportunity. Right? If you have any questions or concerns and you realize, yes, I do need to take this test about how do I register, how do I get information, this email here at the bottom, elpt.registration, that's where you need to send that query. All right. The Dean's office, the FSC Dean's office has nothing to do whatsoever with this test. So we cannot help you if you have any queries about what's going on with respect to the ELPT. So do check that out if you need to. So why am I've been harping about foundations? Why? That is because if you don't pass all of your foundations, you will not graduate. And that means no matter how many grade A pluses you have in your mathematics courses, if you don't have passes in these 3 courses, you're not going anywhere, no degree for you. So it is important that you keep it include. Nicholas, only one of the requirements to avoid the test. You don't have to have all 3. It would be very challenging for you to have both, I think, CAPE and the GCE A-level GP. If you had that, that would impress me very much. Anyway, right, so let's get back into the advanced courses and what is going on. So after you finish your level 1, that's this year for you guys, next year you'll be coming into the advanced courses. Now these courses are what make up your major, right? And you'll notice there are kind of 2. You have, I have on the left, I say advanced courses major, and that's 30 credits. And that is what will be on your letter, your offer letter. It will be saying, we're pleased to offer you a place to read chemistry, all right? That would be your major. In some cases, now you'll notice there's other. On the right-hand side, I have this thing that says other, because 30 credits is not enough. If you realize you add 24 plus 9 plus 30, you don't get 93. So you need those extra 30 credits. Now, where they are coming from, however, right, where those other courses are coming from is what defines the BSc General. Some of you would have asked for a double major. So when you look at your offer letter, it will say, we are pleased to offer you a place to read chemistry and physics. All right. So in that case, you, a person like that, would have chemistry as one major and physics would be the other. So you can have 2 majors. All right. Now, if you did not get 2 majors in your at the start, you can always add 1. It's not a big deal. And I would also like to point out that you can add a major not only from within your faculty, so chemistry and physics, you can also have majors from outside the faculty. So you could be chemistry and in industrial relations. Unusual, but not impossible. All right, so that is one of the nice things about the BSc General. And just a note about if you're thinking about adding any out of faculty majors. Do bear in mind that you need to have approval both from FST and the other faculty as well. And you need to get it before you start. Because what you don't want is to finish a whole major and then find out at the end that you're not eligible. That would be a nightmare. So if you're thinking about doing a major outside of the FST, you want to do that application at the end of your year 1 and before you start your second year. Now, what if you don't want to do 2 majors? No problem. There are other ways that you can fill those other 30 credits. One of those ways is by you doing a minor. What is a minor? That's a smaller group of courses that will give you a flavor of a particular area, right? So if you're doing a major in biochemistry and a minor in chemistry, the chemistry minor would be not as much as an entire major in chemistry, because as you see, it's only worth half of the amount of work that is in a major, but you will get a flavor. So you have and those courses are generally chosen by the department to say, if you take these courses, we believe you'll get a good picture of this particular area. chemistry, biology, biochemistry, physics, environmental physics, all those kinds of different things that you could do. And so you could have 2 minors in with your major. Notice this will give you a little more a little broader picture, because a double major will leave you with knowledge about 2 areas, whereas a major with 2 minors could leave you with knowledge about 3. Just as a note, just as you can do minors within the faculty, and we have so many to choose from, it wouldn't be a surprise if you find all the minors you would like to do is right here in our faculty. But if you would like to do one outside the faculty, it certainly is possible. The only thing is, of course, again, you need to have approval from both faculties, except unlike with the major, if you want to do a minor outside, you just go and do their courses, and then you would apply at the start of your final semester. All right. The minor is not such a much of a big deal, like as if you want to do a whole major outside the faculty. So it's not, you don't have to apply at the beginning for a minor. All right. So if you want to do something in social sciences, psychology is very popular, communication studies is very popular, go right ahead. So what if you don't want to do 2 minors? No problem. You can instead do 1 minor perhaps and an elective. An elective is a course that you do just because you feel like it. That's the best way to describe elective. It's an advanced course, yes, because it's level 2 or 3, but it really doesn't, you're doing it because you want to. That is the only reason. And you can do 5 and a minor in this example. So you can see the flexibility is getting more and more, because these electives could come from within the faculty, it could come from outside. If you like to play pan, you could do courses on playing music across in the Department of Creative and Fine Arts, and you can have that in your chemistry major as well. It's fantastic. And so you can really tailor your degree exactly to how you want it. Last but not least, this is the greatest degree of flexibility you can have with any program. What if you don't like the idea of any of the minors? None of them really speaking to you. Or maybe it is that you like 2 courses in the minor and you don't like the rest. No need to do 3 courses you don't want to do just to get the 2 you do. Just choose to do electives. And this is a perfectly viable option, major and 10 electives. All right, and I want to stress that having a minor is great if you want one, but you really is not something that you must do. You can find courses to fill up those other credits without any trouble, and you have the whole university almost. Because let's just face it, engineering and med sci is out of the picture, right? Those faculty is not going to work out. But they have so many other opportunities in social sciences, in humanities and education, and in food and agriculture, that those are courses you can take, as well as, of course, so many lovely opportunities for courses in the FST as well. So when you finish here, you can sort out your whole stories here by doing 2 majors. Now, what about the BSc special? All right, because I mentioned we have 2 types. The special I call your pre-built degree, because really and truly you are given a package and you have generally fairly limited opportunities for customization in a special. All right, the degree programs that would come with special options that are offered in our faculty are chemistry and management, computer science, information technology, computer science with management, software engineering, mathematics, actuarial science, statistics and economics, environmental science and sustainable technology, and biomedical technology. All right. Now, the BSc special will look somewhat like this. You'll see the introductory level courses are pretty much the same, but the special options, you are pretty much told what to do. All right, you still have those 9 foundation credits, there's no getting around that. And then your advanced courses, you notice there's no 2 blocks with 2 majors, there's nothing like that. You'll also notice because there's no 2 blocks to it, there's just 1 block, there's no opportunity to do other majors or other minors if you have a special option. All right, once you're taking a special option degree, you're taking that, and there's no place for you to add anything else. All right, that does not mean to say don't do special options. Of course not. I mean, for example, actuarial science is a very specific special option. If you plan to be an actuary, you must do actuarial science, right? There's no getting around that. But at the same time, if you're doing information technology special, bear in mind that that's what you're doing, and that you will not be able to add on, say, a minor in computer science if it's what you wanted to do. You would have to switch to, IT major, which would then give you the opportunity to do add a minor on as well. All right. It's important to keep that in mind, because I saw a question about if you could do biochemistry and pharmacy. I do believe pharmacy is one of these special option type things. So if you're doing pharmacy, you're doing pharmacy. You wouldn't be able to add anything to it either. All right. And do bear in mind that whole business about the majors and minors and outside of faculty. Leave med-sci out. Leave engineering out. You will not be able to add anything from those faculties. All right, that's why when I had on the picture, there was food and agriculture, social sciences, and humanities and education. And believe me, there's so many options there. You will definitely not need to go anywhere else outside of, if you're going outside of FSC, you won't need to go too far to believe me. All right, so let me just get back to where I was. One course is usually 3 credits. And as a full-time student in level 1, you'll be expected to do 12 to 15 credits a semester. So anywhere between 4 and 5 courses. Full-time level 2 and 3 students, again, between 12 and 16 credits. Again, sort of, you're looking at about 5 courses a semester is a normal load. Part-time students, maximum of 9 credits. You're not going to be allowed to do more than that if you're a part-time student, which means basically 3 credits, 3 courses. Do bear in mind, if you're thinking about part-time, there's no evening program here in FST. All your courses are going to be 8 to 4, right? What part-time means is that you're just carrying a smaller load. So you will be, it allows you the time to fit it in with something else if you are employed or have some other commitments. It does not mean that you'll be able to take classes in the evening, right? That's not something that we offer. Now, I'm going to say this about 4 times. Read your faculty booklet. This is a picture from last year, but very soon the new one will show up. It contains very important regulations for the university, has information on things like the entry requirements. If you're thinking to yourself, well, I want to change my offer. Do I have the capability to do that? Again, you can find that information there. What are the courses that you need to do a particular program? What's some information about the staff and all of that? That is all available online at the website there, and you can get it on the UE website. They're very easy to come across. Now, I'm going to put that in bold again. Read your faculty booklet. In particular, section 4, which is the faculty regulations, because what you don't know can hurt you. All right? Because it's in the booklet, if anything goes wrong and astray because you did not follow a regulation, it was there. And legally, the university will point to the booklet and say, well, it was there and you should have read it. All right? So you don't want to be that person, because there are lots of very difficult questions. So like, for example, what happens to you if you are ill and you miss an exam? What happens if I do poorly in a semester, or if I do poorly in 2 semesters? What happens if I don't finish after 4 years and I'm supposed to finish after 3? What if I don't register for a semester, or I don't register for 2 semesters? What happens? All of those kinds of things are in the booklet, all right? And will allow you to avoid problems that become painful when they are happening at the end of your career. You're trying to, you don't want to start to, you don't want to fall and bust your head and then have to think about putting on a bandage. Better to see the pothole and avoid the fall and avoid the in the first place. All right? Big in bold, large yellow circle. Ask a question. If you don't understand, you don't know, you're not sure, don't wait until things get to a horrific position to then come and ask, what can I do now? When if you had asked this question 3 years ago, we would have a 2-minute solution. And then 3 years now, and now when you come now, 3 years after, it is no longer a 2-minute solution and might require trips, letters to deputy principals and all kinds of confusion. So if at any point, and this works of course too for your lectures, if you don't know, ask a question. Don't wait, ask the question. So one thing I wanted to also kind of highlight the GPA system, because that what we talked about was the structure and how we can go about what your program will look like. But what is going to drive to a large part what happens to you in the system once you come in and you register is going to be your grades and the grade point average system, the GPA. Now, as you are probably very familiar with, the first 2 columns in this table, if you get a mark, you get a grade associated with it, right? In our case, you get a mark between 80 and 89, your grade will be A, etc., and so far it goes. Of course, you want to avoid any of the red grades because anything less than 50 is a failing grade at the UE. So we want to kind of be away. You don't want to stay anywhere close to the bottom layer at all. But what is going to be new to you perhaps, each grade is associated with a quality point. All right, so if you have a grade of A, there are going to be 4 quality points associated with that. And the grade points are generated from that. So the best way, of course, always an example. So let's take a look here at what is going on, right? So what you have to do is get the grade point for each course you take, all right? A grade point, you can do that, you need the number of credits for the course and the quality point. So the credits is associated with the course. It's a 3-credit course, it's a 2-credit course, it's a 4-credit course. Quality points come from your grade. If you get an A, your quality point will be 4. If you get a C, your quality point will be 2, etc. So if we take a look at this little table here, you have Bio 1262, 3 credits, the course is 3 credits, you get a grade of A+, you have 4.3 quality points for that course. Your grade points then will be 3 by 4.3, and you get a total, right, 12.9. And you do that for all your courses. How you get the grade point average is you take the average. So you add up all the grade points, 12.9 plus 6 plus 5.1, and divide by the total number of credits attempted, 3 plus 3 plus 3, because you took 3 courses. All right, and you get the average, 2.67. That is your GPA. Note that it's the total credits attempted, not the total credits that you have passed, right? So once you take a course, it is going in the denominator, right? So it's something to keep in mind. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the GPA vocabulary because this is something that could be quite confusing. Semester GPA is the GPA you get from all the courses in one semester. So whatever course you take this semester, you will get a semester GPA based on those courses. Those courses that you take from faculty courses like chemistry and biology and foundation courses, all right? Your degree, which is also known as your honors GPA, is a GPA that you get from all your advanced courses. That is levels 2 and 3 courses only. That is because we know that the first year is problematic for many, that you run into trouble just from the big step up from high school to university, and sometimes that causes problems. So the first year is not included in your honors. So by the time you reach your second year, you've got your foot under you and you're ready to run. So, but important to note is that that GPA that is going to give you your class of honors is from all your advanced courses. So not just your major courses. So if you're a chemistry major and doing electives, it's not just the chemistry course GPA courses that will account towards your GPA, it's all of the advanced ones. And last but not least, you have your cumulative GPA, which is the GPA from all your courses that you take, everything that you do, all right, will be in the cumulative. So now why we need to worry ourselves about that is because academic standing is connected to your GPA, right? If your semester GPA is greater than or equal to 2, you are in good standing. You will not get any emails and be asked to see the dean. You will not have holds on your record, etc. All right, you'll be able to proceed. Now, notice this is semester GPA. So when you, at the end of this semester in December, you're going to get a semester GPA. If it's over or equal to 2, you're fine. Proceed. If your semester GPA is less than 2, all right, so in December, when you get your GPA for for that semester, if it's less than 2, you will get your status will be warning, and you will get what is called a dean's hold, and you will not be able to proceed until you have meetings with me and the staff in the dean's office. And because if you're on warning, there's a problem that we have to address. And that is going to be particularly important, because if the following semester your GPA is less than 2 again, and it's 2 consecutive semesters of GPA less than 2, your status will be what's called RTW, or required to withdraw. What does that mean? That means you have to leave us. All right. So if at the end of in December your GPA is less than 2, and then in May your semester GPA is less than 2 again, you're going to have to leave. It doesn't matter if your other GPAs are over 2, for the purpose of the status, it is your semester GPA that counts. All right. So you want to make sure that that is always over 2. All right. Now, with respect, I saw some things in the chat there about GATE and your GPA. So important things to note for those students who are Trinidadians or Togolese and wish to access GATE funding. In order to qualify for GATE, your cumulative GPA, that is your total GPA for all your courses that you take at the end of every year, must be equal to or greater than 2. If at the end of your first year, your cumulative GPA is less than 2, you will not be eligible for GATE for year 2. And that is really something to keep in your mind. GATE is a scholarship. That is really how you should think about GATE. And it's perfectly reasonable that if the government is paying you to go to school, that you're supposed to go to school and get, be, in good standing with the university. That's hardly something difficult to understand. All right. But believe it or not, sometimes it's not. But the thing about the GATE is that if your GPA is less than 2 and you lose GATE, you can't just tell GATE, well, I promise I'll do better next semester and they will fund it. No. You will have to show them that your cumulative GPA is above 2 before you will again be eligible to apply for GATE. All right, so you have to, if you lose it, you have to prove that you are eligible again. You get a blind now because there's no proving about over 2 at this point. You pass through CAPE, so they figure, okay, you're good to go. But if now you have to keep that GPA over 2. All right. I spoke a little bit there about honors and degree GPAs. Just so as you have an idea about what the class bands are. So if your degree GPA is between 3.6 and 4.3, your class bands will be first class, and you'll see the ranges go down. And then if it's anywhere between 2 and 2.49, your class of honors will be a pass. What happens if your honors degree GPA is less than 2? You do not graduate. All right. And let me just point out that 1.99 is not 2. I know we are scientists and we're accustomed to rounding, but believe, as far as the university is concerned, 1.99 is not 2. So you really want to be well above 2 to avoid any issues there. All right. If you so that's something really important to keep in mind. Now, as part of that whole process there, we also have the Dean's Honor Roll, which is something that's done on an annual basis, which basically honors students who are performing well in their courses. All right. So if your semester GPA is above or equal to 3.6, so in other words, if you're sort of first class honors range, you would be on an annual basis, you would be placed on the Dean's Honor Roll. That's a nice kind of little perk to have. You can put it on your CV. It looks good on your resume. Makes your employers, gives you a little something extra that helps you when you go out there in the future. All right, and that's not something that you have to apply for. Once you fall into that category, it will automatically be considered for the honor roll. So I had mentioned earlier again about asking the question, right? This is so important. Ask the question in the classroom. To avoid drama, ask the question about academic and administrative issues to avoid even more painful drama. I see lots of questions going on in the chat there on the side. That's fantastic. I know that people are getting answers as they go, which is great. All right. If you need to contact somebody at the UE, please do use your UE student email address, all right, which would generally take the form of first name dot last name at my.ue.edu. All right, this is really kind of important. And I know perhaps some people are eye rolling and saying, but why should I do that? I have the Gmail account already. I could just use that. Yes, but two things. One, it's always, I have a Yahoo account myself, but I keep my UE business separate from my personal business. It's a good practice, all right? And you should think about your university career as business. It's not personal, all right? So have your UE business separate from your personal business so that important emails do not get lost among the spam and requests for you to buy things at Gap Factory and all this that seem to show up miraculously in my mailbox on a regular basis. But perhaps the second more important reason why you really should be using the UE email address, and certainly if you send a request to the dean's office and it's not from your email address, we will not act upon it, is because to avoid identity theft. Anybody could go and make a Gmail account with any name. So I'm looking here, I see Tisha Haywood. I'm not picking on you, Tisha. It's just that when I turned to look at the chat, your name was on top. I could make a Gmail account, tisha.haywood@gmail, and send emails and purport to be Tisha, right? And there's nothing stopping me from doing that, right? So in order for the university to know that the request from Tisha is actually coming from Tisha, is that you use your UE email address. That's tisha.haywood@my.ue.edu. All right, so please, if you send me anything from Gmail, if it's just general information, I will, you will get a response. But if it's something like, please change my major to, you're not gonna get that happening unless it comes from your UE email address. All right, and do bear in mind, if you need to write a letter, please make sure you include all of these things: your address, your date, ID number, your mobile number if you expect to get a response, and of course a signature. And then if you're sending something by email, at the very least, you must have your name and your ID number. And the ID number is critical because there's, if you happen to have a very common last name, you might be quite surprised to know that there's like 4 people with your exact name. So if you just say, my name is, so-and-so, John Doe, likelihood is there are 4 John Does, and there might even be more than 1 John Doe in your program. So I would not know which one is which. So please, ID number, all right? Just make it routine. If you write a letter to the UE at all, just include at the bottom your name and your ID number. And as a final particular pet peeve, do make sure that you write, with business etiquette in mind, right? This is a formal letter, it's a formal email. Don't be like writing you with a U and all of that, right? Dear so-and-so, yours sincerely, right? So if you do need to get in touch with anyone, there's it on the screen. Myself, personally, if you still, right, although we are coming back on campus, we're not quite on campus back as yet. And in any case, I think with me particularly, when we reach back on campus, it still would be best to reach me the fastest by email. Student Services Unit in the Dean's office, we have Mrs. Tarasuku, who I know has been typing away like crazy in the chat, as well as Ms. Purine Olivier. You will be able to call them because they are on campus and you can reach them at these extensions. All right. So now what? All right, I've talked a lot. I put a lot of information into the air, into the internet. Now, this is all being recorded, so if you've forgotten something, no problem. But what do you do now? You've come here, you've been here, great. What do we do now? What you do now is go to the FSD webpage. Very easy, sta.ue.edu/FSD, because that is where all the information that you're going to need as a new student is going to be. So when you go to that web page, it will look like this. And as you see up right at the top under technology, it says new undergrad students. When you click there, you will get the welcome new FST students. And that's where all the information is going to be. The first thing you're going to want to do is take a look at the new undergraduate checklist. All right, you click there. What are you going to see when you go there? You are going to see this lovely snakes and ladders. All right. So I always like to be the hat in Monopoly, so I put a hat here. So where you are right now is here in faculty orientation. All right. The rest of the week, you'll notice there are departmental advising sessions. And I'm seeing a lot of questions in the chat that are very specific to departments. Those kind of questions probably might be better addressed, or you might find they are addressed specifically for you in your own departmental advising. And let me just point out, you have to go to all. If you're doing more, if you offer it for 2 majors, you have to go to both. Just saying. And so you're seeing all these different things. All these links are clickable. So if you want to know when is the department, if you're going to the chemistry advising session tomorrow, you click on that link, Department of Chemistry, and you will get the Zoom link will show up. All right. You see, you just you're following the snake. Questions, watch this video. If you didn't watch a video, go back and watch a video. Do the form, wait 5 days. Do. And when you fit, and everything, step. And each step has a link if you need it to help you get more information if you need it. All right. And then as you go through each step, when you finish, down at the bottom there, you will see the timetable. Now, go to the timetable is where you find out where your courses will be and when they will be. All right. Because of course, in the academic advising part is where you find out which courses you're supposed to take, and then when and where, of course, is going to be important, because now it's not just when, because it's no longer just Zoom. Where is going to be important too. All right. And this handy video, which is the one that you're going to get at the bottom, see the timetable with Dr. Pingle to explain, because our timetable, I have to say, is not the most straightforward thing in the universe. So it's going to be helpful that you look at this so you get an idea about how the timetable is going to work. So after that, now you want to get to the academic advising guides, because you will need to know what courses you're going to take. Click there, you'll get these. Depending on if your bid offer is a single major, in which case your letter will just say you offer BSc computer science. You will click at the top one. If your offer says BSc physics and mathematics, you're going to click this one. If your offer says BSc anything special, and it will be special, literally specially written on the offer letter, you click on this one. So I'm going to use as my example the first one. I click single major. This is what you're going to see. All right. Now don't try to look at this very particularly, because this is something you're going to have to take your time and read, and so now is not the time for that, but I want to just show you what it would look like. What you will notice is that this page, and this is the first 2 pages, so if you notice, it doesn't have all our majors. So for example, physics, I don't think is here, but there's a second page on the web page that you will see. So if you are doing a BSc in computer science, it will tell you exactly what courses you're supposed to be taking in semester 1. So this semester, what courses should I be taking for computer science? There it is in the white bubble. And below it, in the gray bubble, it says what courses I need to take for semester 2. And it has all kinds of other useful information, like a full-time student must register for 12 to 15 credits. And what if I need to take math and I don't need foundation courses, and etc. All of that is there. So next, I saw some people looking about the academic advising. That is the academic advising form, which is after you have taken a look at the academic advising guide, you're able now to fill out that form. If you click there, it will say this. It is because we want you to go to all of the academic advising sessions that you are supposed to go to. The faculty one, which is today, your departmental 101s. If you're doing one, if your offer is one major, you go to that one. If your offer is two majors, you go into both. And all of that is happening up until Friday morning. So we want to make sure you actually go to those things before you even think about filling out that form. All right, go to your advising sessions first. Speak to the people in your department who can give you specific information relevant to you in your degree, and then you can go and fill out the form. And in each departmental session, we're going to show you the actual form. It wouldn't be the one you could actually use because it's closed, but you will see it in real and you'll see what it looks like, how to fill it out, everything. All right, but we don't have time for that one today, but that is going to be part of the activities for the rest of the week. And last but not least, the registration guide. All right. Student instruction guide. Here it is. This is what it's going to look like. But notice everything you could want to know about how to be registered is on that document. How to get into the student portal in the first place. I saw people saying they were having problems with getting access to that. They would probably have troubleshooting on there too. Or what do I do if I can't get on? How to do the registration, how to drop a course, how to print out your fee sheet, which is going to be important for you and people doing gate and so on and paying you. How do you pay your fees? How do I need to override? All that stuff is there. And then that will allow you to get everything sorted how you want. All right. And after all of that, you will be registered. You can take your classes. We'll be so excited to start off with that. And then in 3 years' time, I will be going to graduation and seeing everybody graduate, which is so exciting. I love graduations, like weddings. So exciting. Everybody's happy. There's nobody depressed at a graduation. And with that, I say farewell and enjoy it. This is the time to have some fun, play some cards and study as well, not just play cards. All right, so I've seen that there's been a lot of questions going on the side there. So, and keep it coming so that you get your stuff answered. You'll also have, as I said, an opportunity right at the end as well to get some information about that. And right now, what I would like to do is to hand you over to FST Media, where you're going to get some information from our guild representative. The guild, as fee-paying students, you are represented by our student guild, and their job is to see up after your interests. And we also have some information about the FST peer advisors, which are students just like you, advanced students, who can help you with issues to do with advising, with coursework, with some of these administrative academic issues. So if you don't want to just come and talk to me or talk to a lecturer, you can talk to a peer advisor, and then they can help guide you in the right direction. So FST Media, over to you for that video.
Good day, everyone. My name is Cassidy Adonis, and I'm the University of the West Indies St. Agustine Guild Faculty of Science and Technology representative for the academic year 2022 to 2023. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the University of the West Indies St. Agustine campus, as well as to the Faculty of Science and Technology. Allow me to offer you congratulations for not only being accepted to this esteemed university, but for also deciding to pursue tertiary education, as this is no easy task. In my role as the Guild FST representative, I represent the views of the students to the Guild as well as at faculty boards. Thus, I am a liaison between the school administration and you, the students. I am your voice as I seek your interests. I am also responsible for student engagement. Thus, I look forward to seeing all of you at Guildfest. Remember, just keep swimming.
Tip number 1. We've all experienced the new student problems of getting lost on campus, so do not be afraid to ask a stranger for help. UE students are friendly, so don't worry, we all get lost. It happens to the best of us.
Tip number 2, walk with an umbrella if you don't want to get sunburns.
Tip number 3, in UE, there will always be some lovebirds holding hands, taking up the whole corridor and walking slow. So just walk around them.
Don't sign up for 8 o'clock class if you can't commit to it. Missing just one class is more addictive than a real deal from KFC.
Whoa, I got taken aback by the rapidity. Well, you see, your FSD peer advisors sharing some very valuable information with you. Yes, and I would add that if you are taking courses in the NATSI building, which is the one where that young man was running up the step with the backpack, that is 4 stories high, and I personally find the elevators disconcerting, so I don't use them. So I take the stairs. So let me just say, if you were not fit before you started taking classes in that building, you will be fit after. So you see, not only are we dealing with your mind, we also deal with your body as well, and FSD, because we just want to make sure we manage the entire student at the same time. Anyway, with that, pretty much we have come to the end of our presentations. So now is the time for questions and other things to make note of. So while I'm, please keep coming. Please keep your questions coming in the chat. Do not be shy. It looks like you all have been, it's been busy. Again, I wanted to so while that is going on, please keep going with the questions. Just keep in mind, again, the first year experience website, the FYE website, keep an eye on that. We'll have all the links to all this stuff that's happening on the campus, which is, of course, there's so much going on. Do keep an eye out on your emails, because you're going to have lots of emails coming from UE now. Emails coming from admissions, emails coming from first year experience, all kinds of stuff. Emails will be coming, probably emails coming from your faculties, so your departments. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that, on those email addresses. Now, and particularly with the first year experience website, be aware of all, because there's so many things going to be going on, right? As I said, like with the Guild Fest, there's going to be where you're going to get to meet your Guild reps and so on. You'll get to meet the people who do all the clubs on the campus, and there's so many different ones that you can choose from. If you want to join, every department in our faculty has a club. If you want to join, you'll be there, maybe to, everybody be there doing the do. There will also, I think, be campus tours, which is going to be important, and not just for you, because it occurred to me, of course, we realize that this time, all our students are going to be new students when it comes to getting around, because nobody knows where everything is. So, campus tours are available. That will be part of the whole first year experience thing. So make sure you take an opportunity to check that out. I would also, again, like to put in a plug for the library orientations, which are actually going to be on the 12th to the 16th of September. But that's also going to be available through first year experience. So check that out. So you can get to know how to get hold of information from a real book and not one that you bootleg from downloaded bootleg from on the internet. All right, so I'll just really see ones that I see. Kayla, if you're not getting emails from UE, you should contact admissions, admis@sta.edu, because you are not, probably what is happening, Kayla, is that you are on the wrong mailing list. So you may be getting, you might be getting emails for the wrong faculty. Anjali, about GATE, anytime if you accept GATE for a particular program and you want to change, you really need to talk about that with GATE before you decide on that. Some programs is not a change, it's not a problem. Some programs it is a problem. And unfortunately, UE cannot help you with that kind of decision, primarily because GATE changes their policies on a regular basis. Simone, you can sign up for GATE now. You have to get the GATE ID. No, you can do that now, but you will not be able to actually apply until you register and have your fee sheet and all of that. But you do need to have the gate ID first. So you can go ahead and do that now. Donovan, yes, you do sometimes have to deal with unavoidable clashes. Now, one of the things we do to avoid that is in the first year, the core courses, we try to avoid clashing as much as possible. So for example, when you go and you look at the academic advising guide, remember the page I showed you, the bubbles? There's the ones that are for joint majors, like the chemistry and biochemistry. They will show you which courses, and those courses never clash. Where you might run into trouble is if you're doing a very unusual combination, which because we can't account for everything, especially, and unfortunately also if you're doing an out of faculty course, we can't, there's no way to get that sorted out. Normally it's not a problem, but sometimes it is. Somebody I saw on one passing, I don't know if anybody answered about how do you book an advising session. That just to keep in mind how that's going to work is that when you fill out your academic advising form, so first things first, you go to your departmental advising session. At that session, it will show you how to fill out the academic advising form. And on that form, there'll be opportunity for you to, if you wish to speak to an advisor, you can check a box and you will get an email with a link for you to make an appointment. All right. There's no email to email or anything like that. All of that is going to happen in the academic advising sessions, which is, of course, another reason why you really need to go to those sessions. Enrique, yes, the computer science special belongs to the Department of Computing and Information Technology, DCIT. Simone, I don't think you have to drop your medicals. As far as I know, you email it to Health Services Unit, but I'm sure your package that you get from the university will specify, what you are supposed to do with your medical. But I don't think you have to come here to do that. Okay, Adam, I know that there was some other folks who had, I know at least one student who did not get an invitation. It might be because it depends on when your application was processed, because the mailing list went out with people whose applications were processed up to a certain time. So if you were outside of that, that might be why. What you could also, similarly, if you're not getting emails from first year experience, if you're not getting emails from about departmental sessions or like the faculty sessions, send that email to admissions, right? So admis, ADMIS at sta.ue.edu. I saw a question there about if you're doing the special, if electives can also be done. That will depend on your program. So most programs, most special options do allow a little bit of flexibility, and some allow more than others. Some programs allow very little. So in other words, you might be able to choose 1 or 2 courses. In some cases, you can choose 5 or 6 courses. But, and normally, one thing to bear in mind is that normally they will not let you choose courses from anywhere. They will tell you must choose from a list. And in some cases, you don't have any choice at all. Alim, if you're getting emails from social sciences, they have you on the wrong mailing list. Please contact admissions and have them put you on the correct mailing list. Katie, yes, anybody who is getting emails from the wrong faculty, somehow you ended up on the wrong mailing list. I do not know how. Just send an email to admissions and admis at sta.ue.edu. All of the departmental orientations will be recorded, just like this one, and they will be available on YouTube for future if people have to view at later. Shania, registration is online. So to register, you just need to, as I said, a computer with an internet connection. That's all. Karina, all your fees have to be paid before you are going to be given financial clearance. And financial clearance is required for you to be able to get access to My Learning, which is our learning platform, our online learning platform, access to the library, access to any of the services will not happen until your fees are paid. So all of that has to happen as soon as you possibly can. I'm not sure I hope I'm not mangling your name too wrong, too terribly. I'm not familiar with what is required in terms of the immigration and all of that. I would suggest that you check the international office. They will be able to help you specifically with what is required. I don't want to tell you anything, and then because I was a foreign student as well, and I know how important that whole stuff is. Just a query about the ELPT again. So for the Found 1105, if you have a grade 1 or 2 in CAPE communications, if you have a grade A or B in GCE A-level general paper, or if you have a grade 1 in CSEC English A, English language. If you have any one of those things, you don't have to have all 3. Once you have one of them, you do not have to do the ELPT. If, however, you do not have any of them, you will need to do the ELPT, and will need to check out the ELPT webpage on the university webpage and get information there. Financial clearance, if you apply for GATE, once you do all the paperwork, it will automatically get sorted out. But you will need to pay your compulsory fees, because that is not covered by GATE. Roshni, you pick the minor later if you wish to add one, because you will need to know, like, well, what, that doesn't happen now. And the other thing to realize about the minor is you can take courses for it regardless. You don't have to actually declare that you want to take up minor in biology. You can just take the courses, and then later down the road, you will make the declaration. Well, I've taken all the minor courses. I would like to have a minor in biology, please. You don't have to have that done up front. If you want to do a major in the faculty, a second major in the faculty, similarly, you can just go ahead and do the courses. With some exceptions. But if you want to do a major outside of the faculty, then you have to make that request at the end of your first year. Remember with the electives and the specials, it depends on your program. The only way you will know is to go to the faculty booklet for your program and see what its requirements are. I can't tell, like just for the one I happen to know, because it's chemistry, the chemistry and management, you have, I think, I think you have like 1 or 2 choices, electives that you can pick. And they are not, and again, they're not electives from anywhere, they're electives from a specific list, of course. Fees, all financial matters need to be sorted before registration is done. Because as I said, if you don't pay your fees before classes start, you will not have access to any of the class material. Because while we are not online now, so you will actually be able to go to the classroom because there's nobody going to be at the door saying, where's your financial clearance? However, all your lecturers are going to put their notes, they're going to put your assignments, they're going to put things you have to do, sometimes tests are going to be on My Learning. And if you are not financially cleared, you will not have access to My Learning. And so you will find yourself unable to participate in the course. All right, so the fees need to be sorted before registration is done. So you should be thinking fees along with registration, all right? Because, and it does take, and bear in mind that paying fees and getting financial clearance is not instant unless you go through a particular specific process, which is all on the bursary's website. They will tell you how. There are different ways you can pay your fees. Some are instant clearance, some are not. And so if the one you happen to choose is not instant clearance, it could take 3 to 5 working days before your clearance is processed. So don't expect to pay your fees now and have access tomorrow. So you should think a week in advance, All right, you always want to be prepared as fast as possible in front. Johnny, I think the gate means test is just going to tell is to tell you how much gate is prepared to support. So that does not, I don't believe that has to come to us, but your package will tell you exactly what you need to include with respect to fees, with gate, all of those things. They're not, it's extremely detailed. So you don't have to guess. It will be spelled out for you. So if you need to submit that, it will be there as these are one of the things you need to sign in. No, Matthew, you don't have to pay the fees before registration because remember, just at the same time, right? So starting from next week, you know, and bear in mind, you don't have to pay the compulsory fees in person. You can pay them at any Republic Bank. I think you can also pay them online if you have a credit card. So they've made it very easy to pay. The older students will remember standing in very long lines in the bursary, but those days are over. Suraj, no, you don't have to apply twice for GATE. What will happen is if you're a double major, it will say you apply, and on the form you will say environmental science and chemistry. Enrique, I think you can apply now. I think it depends on the bursary. If you're talking about and there are two different types. Right? There's bursaries offered by the university, and then there's bursaries offered by the government. I think you can apply for the government ones now. I don't think you have to wait. I'm not sure what the university wants, but if you go to the financial aid section of the university website, there's all information about accessing funding, GATE, bursaries from the university, scholarships from the university, bursaries from the government. All of it is there. Kyle, if you, yes, once you've spoken the advisor and you've decided on you want to make a change to your major offer, you can make the change right now and start from the beginning. But as I said, in some cases, that is not advisable that you started from level 1. What they will tell you is, we can't officially give you this, but you can proceed to the courses, and at this particular time, you can then add it on officially. But I again advise that you speak to your advisor. As I said, after our sessions between tomorrow and Friday morning, I think a lot of those kind of questions will be addressed, especially in terms of like, how do I go about doing this, and this? Okay, Cassia, about the timetable, right? With respect to the timetable, the only thing you can choose is which tutorial you attend, and if the course has a lab, which lab you can attend. Lectures are fixed. You must attend the lectures. So if there are 2 lectures, you must attend both. Generally, the lectures are set up such that they don't clash, especially with the popular choices. Tutorials usually will have like at least, and in first year courses, they usually have lots of tutorials. They have like 6 or 7, sometimes even 8 different options. So it will be, you're going to be able to find a tutorial that will suit you. Labs are fewer, but they will usually try to sort it so that you don't clash with other, like the chemistry and biology labs are set up so that they don't clash with each other. And that is sorted when you come to sign up for your first laboratory. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. But you wouldn't have to contact anybody. What you will as somebody had asked earlier, sometimes you have clashes. If you're doing an unpopular combination or unusual combination, you might have a clash. If the class is very large, I guarantee you they're not going to change anything because of your one clash. All right, because consider you have a class of 400 and you are the only one with the problem, there's no change. So in that, if you're in that very unusual situation, because that's not normal for level 1, then you will have to do a little dancing around to try and make sure you can go to as much of both sets of classes as possible. But I don't think that really shouldn't happen with you as a level 1. Abigail, any questions about what to do if you had GATE outstanding from last year and how to take a roll it forward? GATE office. Any question like that, GATE office. The FST, I must tell you, nobody's going to give you any advice on that because it is likely to be wrong. And then you will come back and say, Dr. Beckel said, and it will be a bad scene. So I am not going to say anything. Nobody in the dean's office can say anything. GATE is the only people who can talk about GATE. So please check with them. Email them, call them, go by them, because they're right there, right across the main road. So they're very close to the campus. You could actually go there. I don't know if anybody answered Kayla's question about the study abroad. Kayla, the study abroad option which you're talking about there is a very specific program, the software engineering, which actually has, I think, a year or 2 years in China. There are, however, if you are a biochemistry student and you want to study abroad, International Office does offer study abroad options for all students, all. You can spend a semester abroad or a year abroad. It is a little time consuming. Usually it's in your second year. It's a little time consuming to get sorted, but well worth the effort if you put it in, because you can find yourself in Europe, in the US, in Canada, and you can actually use those courses towards your UE degree. And that is for everybody, not just comp-sci students. Generally, there are no weekend classes, Suraj, although that will depend on your department. They're not in chemistry, I can tell you that. Lectures will generally be in person. The university is returning to in-person operations. However, depending on your class, some lecturers may choose to have some activities online. You will find out all about that in your first lecture, right? But the university is moving back to face-to-face. Tamara, yes, probably you will need to have both your CAPE units to apply for exemption with credits. CAPE is coming out soon. Should be like, about 2 weeks. So it shouldn't be a problem. Roshni, you will need, about the scholarships, you will need to go to the scholarships webpage. And if you go to the UE front main page, there's a link for financial aid right there at the top. You click on the financial aid button and it will have all that information, because every scholarship will be different. Some scholarships require that you live in a particular location, that you live in Sandy Grande. The person who, he who pays the piper, right? So, something I forgot to mention, which is going to be very important for you all, very important, people. I just saw that thing there about Shanicia wrote about recap classes. Right. For our students, FST students, which are you, your first FST classes, chemistry, biology, physics, computer science, IT, mathematics, statistics, those classes are going to be starting not in week 1, but in week 2. So not the 5th of September, the following Monday, which is the 12th of September, yeah, right? All of your other classes, foundation courses, any out of faculty course you have to take. So anybody doing comp sci and management or chemistry and management who are doing management courses, accounts, econ, those kind of courses, you will start in week 1, so September the 5th, right? So all the foundations, all the non-FST courses start in September the 5th, lectures, right? So when you're looking at the timetable, you need to be out there Monday morning, 8 o'clock, right? Right. FST classes, chemistry, physics, biology, biochemistry, mathematics, computer science, statistics, right? Physics, if I didn't say physics, starting the following week, right? The reason for that is we are often, one, there's a lot of confusion going on right now, and probably even more so with nobody who will return to face-to-face. We want to kind of spread out some of the confusion. In addition, to give time for some of our applicants to get in any last-minute applications that they might have. Courses that you are exempted from, you can find that out usually in the faculty booklet. It will tell you For example, Math 1115, if you have CAPE Mathematics, you are exempted from taking that course. And you can apply for exemption credit. And you will take some, but that would be exemption without credit. You'd have to take another course instead. You can apply for exemption without credit, exemptions, because to be honest, for most of our students, the exemptions are going to be exemptions without credit. In other words, like Math 1115, you have CAPE Mathematics, so you cannot, you're exempt from Math 1115, but you have to put something in that place. You can't just leave it empty. Something has to go there. So you still have to take something. So if you look, and where you will, for example, biology students, Chem 1062, if you have CAPE Chemistry, you are exempt from taking Chem 1062, but you have to put something else in place, right? That information will be on the academic advising guide. Again, that white page with the bubbles that I pointed out. All right, so when you're at the FST web page and you click on the academic advising guide, right, and you choose which one of these buttons as appropriate to you, and you get the bubble sheet, it will tell you. For example, if you look up here in the BSc Biology corner, Chem 1062, only for students without a pass in CAPE Chemistry, all right? Students with CAPE are to read another level 1 course instead of 1062. Same with math. The math, with the star, Math 1115. Students with a passes in CAPE Math may apply for exemption without credit, all right? And you can, and you use the following link, and once it's granted, you must need an alternative level 1 course. So you can apply, you can go ahead and take another, if you know you have CAPE Math and you know you would not need to do Math 1115, you can go ahead and take your other course and apply after. Because I think there was also a question, in terms of courses that you are going to be exempted from based on your CAPE results, for our faculty primarily, it's going to be the math courses, the Math 1115 and Math 1125, only those two, and Chem 1062. I don't think there's anything else that would you be exempted from with CAPE. Foundations, Jasmine Foundation classes will start the first week of classes, so September the 5th. The FST courses start the week after. Enrique, yes, pre-science, I think would count as CAPE Math, right? So if you did chemistry and math at CAPE at pre-science, it would count for replacing Chem 1062 and Math 1115, I believe. Jasmine, yes, you can switch to part-time at any point in your career. That is not a problem. It's a very easy process. Agile, you can go to any department's advising session if you wish, and that might actually, thank you for making that point. That might actually be a good idea. So let's say, for example, you have been offered one major, a single major, and you think you might want to add another major from a different department. It might make sense to go to that department's advising session and listen to what they have to say and ask your questions, so that you can make your decision when the time comes next week to do your registration. There's nothing stopping you from going to any of the advising sessions if you wish. And all of the advising sessions, the links are on that Snakes and Ladders page, right? FST undergraduate student checklist, Snakes and Ladder page. All these links are clickable. So when you're looking for a departmental advising session, you click, 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 and you will get what you need. All right. Nikolai, ESST classes start on the second week, just like everyone else, because the ESST courses are FST courses. All our FST courses start on the second week. So that would be starting Monday the 12th. Enrique, no, they would not give you any details about that because the purpose of the part-time thing is just as far as the administration is concerned, you're only supposed to take nine credits of courses. What courses you take, what your timetable is, that's going to come from your advising sessions, which happen starting from tomorrow and go through to Friday morning. So go to your advising and all of that kind of questions will be answered. Siobhan, the recordings will be on the FST webpage, but it takes a few days to get the videos sorted. So it wouldn't happen instantly, but certainly by the end of this week or early next week, you should be able to access that. But I don't want to tell you a specific date, but it does take a couple days to get the editing done. If there's one thing I learned from my online COVID experience, oh my God, all respect to YouTube people. Oh my gosh, that whole editing thing is such a nightmare. Oh, so I know it does take a little time. If you have clashes, Danara, you can inform your department, but honestly, I think I'm surprised I would be so concerned about clashes because it's almost never an issue with level 1. Tamia, it is, yes, you must attend all your lectures and you choose one tutorial every week. And if your course has a lab, it would be one lab for the week. In the case of chemistry, we have courses that is only lab. It's a lab course, that's Chem 1070. And there are 3 opportunities to have labs and you would choose one that would fit in with your timetable because of course labs are every week. So thank you, Kyla. I'm so glad you went to the webpage. Maya, I do not know about, well, the student employment comes from the Division of Student Services. So, so the same people who are running this, the very nice Mr. Older at the beginning, he's also responsible. That his office is also responsible for student employment. So you could go to that webpage and look and see what is available. They will basically match you with a possible posting. Labs are on the main campus. Yes. You wouldn't have to go anywhere else to go to a lab. Francesca, let us just say it will be highly unlikely for first-year students to get maximum credit override. And that is because I would say by far the #1 reason students fail is because they're taking too much course. So given that we do not want that to happen to you, and as I said, not only are you navigating in a new system, you are also navigating a bit in a different mode as well. The supports that were there for the online are not going to be there any longer. Things like recording, every class being recorded and being available for you to review, 3 months later, those kind of things is not going to be there. So it is unlikely. I wouldn't say impossible, but unlikely. Don't count on it. About the question about the gate means test, right? Well, I presume since you've done your gate means test, you've also got your gate ID. So what you do now is you go through the registration process. Right, you go through your registration process and complete your advising form, go through, do your advising hold, go to the student portal, watch the video, register for your courses, pay your fees and get financial clearance. That is where when you register for your courses, and you go into this part with the paying of the fees and so on, that is where you get all the information that has to go into your GATE application. All right, they'll actually tell GATE how much you are going to cost them. And they will be like, okay, because I'm taking these courses, there will be so many, the tuition is so much. And GATE will say, yes, I'm going to pay X%, and then that gets handled behind the scenes. What you have to do is get the information about what has to go to GATE, and that happens here in this register for your courses, pay your fees section. All right, there will be information. When you click on the pay your fees, get financial clearance link, you will be taken to that section from the bursaries website, and it is very, very detailed. about what you have to do, what documents you have to provide. If you have GATE, they have very detailed information there about what you need to do to tell GATE, you know, and you don't have to carry all that information to GATE, I don't think. I think it's all done internally and then that gets sent to them. But however it is done, all that information will be there. So you can take, you know, you can get to this page, click on that link, and it will take you to that part of the burssaries webpage. Danica, yes, if you are offered 2 majors in 2 different departments, you do need to attend both sessions. I know you're probably thinking, oh gosh, 1 session, same session, one, 2. But bear in mind that every department operates, they do their thing, every department does their thing differently. And so it is wise that you attend both. And quite frankly, the departments do not collaborate, so it's quite likely you're going to meet in terms of like we don't check on each other with who is doing what in which. So if you go to 2, you're likely going to get actually information you would not have gotten if you went to only 1. Even information that's not necessarily to do anything with your department or your program, just general information. With respect to the buses, there are buses that go around the campus that will carry you from one part of the campus to another. There are also some buses that will carry you to to Mount Hope, as well as to the I can't remember the name of the hall, but the one that's on St. John's Road. But in terms of like randomly going around the neighborhoods, no. It would be very specific to some certain university venues that happen to be off campus. Yes, Arthur Lewis. Thank you, Donovan. Yes, Arthur Lewis Hall. Certainly, Nicholas, full-time students can do internships because they're usually offered in the summer. So for the holidays, so it's not an issue with classes. Chrissy, if you're doing a double major, you will not have space in your program for minors. If your program allows for electives, it will say so, and you will just sign up for those, register for those courses as you go. You don't have to do anything special for those on this different. Okay, well, I think I'm going to wrap up because we have actually gone a bit about an hour past with questions, which is excellent. Yes, I've just been given a note that I should wrap up. Anyway, yeah, so I think it's a good time for us to wrap up. So thank you so much for coming out, ladies and gentlemen. So appreciative. I was very appreciative of the very, very vibrant question and answer section in the chat. You have had the benefit of many, many, many very high expertise persons behind the scenes, the administrative assistants for all the departments who are here helping out, as well as the very, very knowledgeable staff in the Dean's office. So thank you for coming. Make sure that you go to your advising sessions. I guarantee you, I know you might think, oh God, I've been sitting here for 3 hours. You will not regret it. You will not regret it. You will find it. You are going to find that information very helpful because you are going to get information about your specific program that you could not get here today. So do bear in mind that we are here. Our task, our job, our honor is to support you and help you get to get you to your goals, whatever those might be. Thank you so much to the administrative assistants, all our administrative assistants. Thank you for all your kind assistance and accurate information given to our students. Thank you to the Dean's office staff who has been working tirelessly behind the scenes and reminding me it's time to wrap up. Thank you, Dean, for your kind words of inspiration to our students. Because, of course, as I should have mentioned this up front, full disclosure, I am completely biased. I am not unbiased whatsoever. Chemistry is #1. So those of you who are so lucky to be in our session tomorrow, you will see what I mean. And those of you who are not, perhaps you might want to pop in and see, and maybe even start, and consider, expand your mind. So many of our faculty, our departments have so many fantastic opportunities. Do not neglect the opportunity to try out whatever you like. That's why you're here. So thanks everybody. I will see you all, some of you all, tomorrow. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to send them to the faculty email, right? fst.undergraduate@sta.ue.edu, and we'll be happy to help as best we can. And if we can't help you, we'll try to point you at something you can. All right, everybody. Bye for now.